Hey, what's going on, YouTube? It's your certified life and relationship coach, Coach Court. Got a good one for you today. In today's video, we're going to talk about something that I get from a lot of my male clients. Give me a second here. I don't know what just happened here. Something just went crazy on me. I get it from a lot of my male clients who are in a situation where where they are involved with somebody or were involved with somebody who is dismissive avoidant. So give me a second. I'm just trying to set up my Instagram, which is not working very well. Technology never works when you want it to. All right. So I'm here live on Instagram and YouTube. Let's get to it. So who all we got in the house here? Elaborate on this, coach. I'm all ears. All right. I'm going to get around to it. You know, if you guys are part of the membership program, don't forget to reach out to me to do your monthly coaching session with me. It is 65-70% off from my regular coaching sessions. You get 20 minutes with me for $25 a month. And all you have to do is join the YouTube subscription membership. That's it. Real simple. I'll reach out to you with your Zoom link so we can have our coaching session for the month. And this is for people who are trying to move forward, heal themselves, and get unstuck from the situations that they're in. All right. So also check out my book on Amazon. It's $5. Fruitful Seeds. All right. We're going to do it. All right. We're going to get to it right now. Xavier, I got you. Glenn, I got you. So here's why the dismissive avoidant female will leave you stuck. The love avoidant female will leave you in this realm of, I like to call it relationship limbo, because usually the breakup isn't very clean. You're not quite sure where you stood with that person all along, and you're really struggling to understand like what exactly happened. And this is something that I wrote about in my book. When you're stuck in a relationship limbo, you're in this middle ground. It's like you're not together with them, but you still feel that you have that connection with them, you know? And I don't know if that's just the unhealthy attachment that you have to them, but you still feel on a subconscious level like you're cheating on them. If you were to go out and find somebody else, if you were to go date around, you would feel a little bit dirty by doing it, because you feel like you still have this connection to them. And this is unlike any other type of attachment style. You know, the secure people, you can break up and move on like it is. You know, anxious people, you're probably like, whoa, that thing needed to end. But when it comes to the avoidant person will leave you in this spot where like, we never quite reached that pinnacle of the relationship. We never quite reached that end zone. You know what I mean? We didn't cross the finish line. And we're talking Olympics. We didn't cross the finish line. We don't feel like we did a full sprint in that relationship. So it keeps men stuck, you know, and there's 3 reasons why. The first one is they keep you in relationship limbo. And the second reason why is men, we like to achieve things. We like to set goals and have accomplishments. If you guys are over Instagram, please do me a favor, hop over to the YouTube live. This is going to help boost my analytics and show other people that, hey, this is worthy information. This is something that needs to be pushed out and shared with other people. So if you're on Instagram, come over to YouTube and check me out on this live feed. Coach Court, by the way. Hey, jump over here on YouTube. All right, so we like to achieve things. All right, we like to set goals. We like to, we have a purpose. And here's the thing about people who are anxious attachment men. We make our women our purpose in the relationship. We make them our goal. All we want to do is to please them, to make sure that they're happy. You know the old saying, happy wife, happy life. But I'm having a whole paradigm shift lately that's not the way that it's supposed to be. All right. Understand that that's not the way that it's supposed to be. Just because the relationship didn't pan out the way that you wanted it to pan out, that doesn't make you a failure. What makes you a failure is continuously getting up and doing the same thing over and over again. So let's not say that you're a failure. You just failed. And that's hard for a lot of men, because we don't like failing. We don't like coming up short. We don't like not scoring that winning touchdown. We don't like it. It feels incomplete, and it makes us feel bruised as a man, which leads me to my next reason as to why they will keep you stuck. It hurts our ego. Men, obviously, we're more egotistical than women are. That could be debatable, but if we're talking as a general rule, men, we have big egos, and we put a lot of pride in who we are, what we stand for, and achieving things in life. So when that ego gets bruised and we don't reach I guess if you're talking on relationships, if you don't reach the altar, we feel like a failure, and we feel like, man, we're no good at this relationship stuff. But that's not true. And we're talking about anxious attachers, all right? It's actually your wounds that is preventing you from having healthy, fulfilling relationships. And unfortunately, which everybody knows, if you've seen any of my videos, comment down below. If you've seen any of my videos, I talk a lot about this, and it's well known by John Bowlby. He talked about it. He wrote about it. He created it. The anxious and avoidant is a trap. It's you attract each other's like magnets. And like I wrote, one of my quotes I wrote on Instagram, opposites attract, but they rarely last, because the things that attracted to you to that person in the first place, that's what's going to become a bugaboo later on down the line. That's what's going to stop you from even wanting to continue with the relationship, because in the first 90 days, the dude's snoring or the woman's snoring or she's hogging all the blankets. Like, oh, this is cute. She just wants to be under me. Oh, this is cute. I must have wore him out. He must be tuckered out, maybe because he had a couple extra drinks. But after 90 days and you have more towards the long-term, what they call LTR, long-term commitments, that's when you start to be like, oh man, this is just getting too much. I'm gonna go sleep in the other room. This dude drinks too much. All those things that you overlooked in the beginning started to become an issue, right? If you guys are coming in here on Instagram, do me a favor. Help me boost my analytics over on YouTube. Cross over to YouTube. Check out the channel Coach Court. Give me a thumbs up when you get there. Share the feed. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and reflect back on these 3 reasons why the dismissive avoidant female will leave a man stuck. And this is based on a lot of men that I work with. A lot of men come to me and they really struggle to get over relationships. I mean, I've worked with people that's been, they've been broken up a year plus, and they really struggle, all from all over the world too, all over the world. They all struggling with getting over this person that they were seeing, and they came, they did a lot of research themselves, and they realized that, hey, this is a love avoidant, and they really struggled. So I'm just trying to help you guys understand why you're struggling. And if you reach out to me for a coaching session, we can figure out how to get you unstuck. But let me tell you, it's going to be an uphill battle. I'm telling you, because they're speaking to the part of your soul that you didn't know, or the part of your personality, the part of your insecurities that you didn't even know were there. It just kind of got awakened in you. So to recap, you stuck in relationship limbo. You feel this sense of loyalty to this person, even though you're not even dating them anymore. You may have been broken up for a year, like a lot of guys. You could be broken up for 6 months, 3 months, whatever it is. You go on dates, you go on first dates, and it just doesn't feel the same, because you feel like you're doing a disservice or you're being disloyal to the person that you were with. And that's a hard place to be. The second reason is because men don't like to fail. We like to have accomplishments, achieve things. We like setting goals and achieving those goals. And for a lot of men, after a while, because we've been conditioned to believe that, happy wife, happy life, I have to bend over backwards and do everything for this person in order for me to feel validated, AKA the book I got by Ronald Glover, I think it is, No More Mr. Nice Guy. We've been conditioned to think that, and this goes way back. All right, if we're talking anxious attachment male to anxious attachment. If you guys are men in here, give me a 1 in the chat. If you guys are men in here, we're gonna talk eye to eye for real quick. All right, we've been taught as men, anxious attaching men, because guys that are more avoidant or secure, they don't really have this issue as much as we do. But the guys that are anxious attached, we've been taught that, look, our woman has to be happy. Our mom has to be happy around the house. Otherwise, we're not able to be happy. If our wife isn't happy, we're not able to be happy. So, emails coming through. I apologize. So you need to understand that that's not the case. You need to learn how to make yourself happy first. Make yourself whole first. And a lot of the things that we do is people pleasing, it's validation seeking, and it's not going to lead to a fulfilling relationship, because after a while, let me tell you something. I don't care what attachment style you are. If you're an avoidant, if she's an avoidant, if she's an anxious, if she's whatever, the more feminine energy that you put out there, which is pleasing behavior, overly nurturing behavior, overly communicating behavior, that type of energy is going to turn her off and repel her from you. It's like a magnet. But it's interesting though, because in the beginning of the relationship, they may have been like, oh, you're so great, you're so this and you're so that, which drew you together. But like I said before, the behaviors that they liked in you in the beginning is going to repel them in the end. So it's almost like this is what secureness is. Like secureness, you got to sit right there in that middle ground. You got to know when to pull close and when to allow them to have their space. Anxious attachers, let's talk. You got to be able to allow for them to have their space. And this is going to happen a lot, especially with women who are dismissive avoidants. They're going to need a lot of time where they're going to pull away and they're going to want to do themselves. And you got to let them do that. Otherwise, you'll end up ruining the bat. You're ruining the cake. Right? You got to let it bake. What can we as anxious attachers do to become unstuck? I was just talking to a client earlier today about this. It was a female, but it works for men too. Filling your knowledge gap. Learn what you need to learn to do better next time, to show up better next time. Because you don't know what you don't know. And the best way to cure this is to learn something new. Get out, get active, keep moving. Date. If it's been a while, and you will know. If it's going on like 6 months to a year and you still haven't gotten out and dated other people and put yourself back out there, that's important for you to do, because you won't get good at anything if you don't practice it. So get out, practice your behavior, and this will help you like regulate the amount that you text, because I know a lot of anxious attachers text a whole lot. They want to be close. They want the words of affirmation all the time. They want the validation from people all the time. So make sure you get out there and put yourself out there again. Reconnect with your friend circle. Very important, because if you are a true anxious attacher, you probably lost connections with your friends and your family, and you pretty much kept things all about you and her. If you guys are coming in here, give me a thumbs up. Like the feed. Appreciate you. Like the feed. If you're feeling this, give me a 1 in the chat. If you're feeling like this is valid and it's on point, put a 1 in the chat. I have no clue what just happened to the Instagram, but that goes bye-bye now anyway. If you agree with any of this, put a 1 in the chat. Like the feed. I know it's kind of hard to do it when you're in the middle of it. It's kind of hard to like it, but I appreciate you guys doing that as a thank you later on to thank me for the content today. Thank you. I'm stuck after the end of 4 months ago. No proper closure. Her coldness, and now I'm blocked, while my sister and daughter are still on her WhatsApp. I totally get about feeling guilty. Yeah, man. If you feel guilty moving on, 4 months ago, I mean, that's okay. So first off, how long were you dating this person? Because as a general rule, they say for every year that you were in a serious relationship, it's going to take at least 2 to 3 months for you to completely heal from that person. So if you were with them for 2 years, it may take 6 months to a year. It all depends. And it all depends on what you're doing to stop from triggering yourself too. I've been there. Couldn't sleep. 4 years, that's a long time. It's going to take a while for you to heal from that. It's going to take a while. But if you do it the right way, if you Making sure that you're taking the time for yourself. Meditation, prayer, huge. Do a lot of reading, get some good exercise, eat healthy, or you eat whatever. Just eat, because I know when you're going through this, you may not even want to eat. Eat. Make sure that you stay active though. It's really hard because if you're working, like, you can't really concentrate, you can't function. It really just cripples men. A lot of men that I work with, they're just really just so down and out. So make sure that you continue to do that. I'm trying to think of the other tool we talked about. I push this book all the time, about reprogramming your inner child, getting in there and listen and actually reparenting your inner child. It's incredibly painful. There is no worse pain that I would ever wish on anyone. Like, I feel like the death of love is almost worse than actual death, because actual death, you have to go through the process of grieving. You have to make amends with whatever you have to make amends with. People will constantly tell you, yeah, the person loved you. The person loved you, and it's like, yeah, I know they loved me. I know they appreciated me being in their life. But when it comes to the death of love, and that person is actually walking around the streets, and that they're there, and all they have to do is to send you one text to let you know, hey, I'm still here for you. Hey, I still love you. I still whatever. And they don't do it. It's excruciating. So I get you, brother. It's excruciating pain. And like I said before, you feel like a failure. As a man, you feel like a failure. Like, man, I got it wrong, especially if you've been through multiple breakups. You've been through multiple breakups and you're like, dang it, I messed up again. But like they say, each relationship is a learning lesson. Everybody that comes into your life is to teach you something about yourself. It's to teach you what you need to learn and what you didn't know you had in you. Because a lot of men that I work with, they're confused. They're like, man, I was actually a player. Like, I was dating a bunch of different women. It didn't really matter to me. She came into my life and I cut all the other women off, and boom, that was it. There's another concept I want to run with you guys. Have you ever heard of the concept called one-itis? One-itis is the notion that once you find that person, that's it. That's all you see. You lose sight of everything and everybody else. And you have this feeling like they're the one. Even though there's 8 billion people in this world, 4 billion women, we still feel like that one person is the one and only. And that is a place that will leave you stuck. It'll keep you in a scarcity mindset. And this is when a lot of men, they come, like, I've worked with men, you guys wouldn't even understand, like the guys that are very high profile, very wealthy, and they get stuck on this one person and they can't handle it. They're like, man, I run a Fortune 500 company, or I run this and that, or I'm like one of the top so-and-sos, but I just can't get unstuck on this woman. And I'm like, well, avoidance will keep you seeking, trying to get more out of them, Now I'll ask them, like, chances are you were the one that said I loved you first. You were the one who wanted to have the commitment first. You were the one that took a lot of the first steps to making this thing a functional, healthy relationship, right? And they're like, yeah, that's pretty much how it went down. To a degree. AA sounds very familiar to FA. Now, FAX said, I wasn't affectionate enough, but I did everything else for him. He felt neglected, rejected. I took him 2 years to get over his last ex. Yeah. Wow. He's been texting me daily since moved. And this culture doesn't really allow men to truly grieve either. And it all depends on who you talk to. If you're talking to your friends and family, they're going to, of course, be biased. They don't want to see you hurt. They don't want to see you struggling. And they'll tell you, suck it up, get out there, go date other women, go do this and go do that. But listen, I have worked with so many men over the past year that have been even suicidal, having some, I guess I can't say it on, oh, hope I don't get demonetized for that one, that have been contemplating bad things about themselves because they couldn't get over this person. And this one thing, mental health needs to be talked about more amongst men, period. We can't just continue to think that, oh, we're so strong and we have lots of brawn and we don't have emotions and feelings. And um, that's one thing that this world today has really made a little bit taboo. I feel like we're turning a corner though. We're turning a corner though and talking about a lot of these type of things and bringing a healthy discussion and dialogue to the table. So if I'm going back, if you guys are just coming in here, like the feed. If you want to join my membership program, it's $25 a month. That's 70% off of a coaching session with me. I mean, that's all you have to do is join my membership program on YouTube. Done. And reach out to me, set up your coaching for the month, and you'll have that 20 minutes of coaching every single month. And we can just continue to have monthly oil changes to get you guys where you need to be. I feel bad moving on because we ended initially to distance, but we'd be together until then the rug pulled out. 7 weeks together. All right, so I'm having a hard time keeping up with that one. Bad birth control. Hey coach, my ex rebound, don't trust her. And it's been second month they together, they fight a lot, and he's constantly suspicious about her. What are the chances of working? That ship's already sinking. So how do you know that? How do you know that that they're arguing a lot? Are you keeping in contact with her? Are you seeing it on Facebook or social media? No one is 100% to blame. Good stuff there, Glenn. Absolutely. There is two sides to every coin. And it sucks because as men, like I said before, we're goal oriented. So when our relationship fail, our marriage fail, we struggle to we struggle to accept that because we want to fix it. We want to fix it. Like we want to make this thing right the ship, even when it comes to the sacrificing your own happiness, because chances are there were a bunch of different red flags in their relationship that you didn't like. There are a bunch of things that you were. It's also funny that I've had a good amount of men that said that I was actually planning on breaking up with her because I wasn't getting my needs filled. And then she broke up with me, and now I'm struggling. Isn't that funny how that works? We were together 1.5 years because of lockdown. Then lockdown ended, so she would return to college, but remain together until she left. You guys are really young. That's another thing too. Look, you guys were really young. If you're still in college, you're better off focusing on your mission and your purpose in life anyway. Put that energy somewhere that will actually bring you back some dividends in your life. I know it sucks to think about, but your 20s are the years where you're laying out the foundation to the rest of your life. It's hard to think about it right now, but chances are this was for the best for you. Bat birth. All right, any other questions? So to get unstuck, let's recap on that. Get yourself active. Get back around your friends. Look up the term one-itis if you need to look up the term one-itis. Get stuck get unstuck from that relationship limbo. Because once you guys are broken up, you have no more sense of loyalty to that person. All right. Once they decided to end the relationship, you're free. You can do whatever you want to do, you know. And I know it's going to be hard to push through that. Like, I don't want to do anything that's going to jeopardize my chances of getting this person back. And I know that's the reason why, but you got to do what's best for you, because chances are they're doing what's best for them. And if things happen later on down the line where you can reconcile and you guys are in totally different spaces mentally and you guys have both grown a little bit, maybe you might reconcile, but maybe not. Fundamental differences between a FA and a DA. FAs, they activate and they deactivate. They'll be hot one minute, then they'll deactivate when they sense like things are getting a little bit too moving too fast. All right, but the DA, they're pretty much always having this wall up, kind of standoffish, kind of, let's just see where this goes type. But I have seen them, if they're able to, if they had a few drinks in them or something, they'll let themselves go. They'll let their hair down a little bit, and they're able to like show you a little bit more affection. They loosen up a little bit, and then they end up regretting it after they have, said things like, "Oh, I love you," and all those type things that they felt like was a little bit too vulnerable. So the DA, usually have had like to grow up quicker than they wanted to grow up. They had to take care of younger siblings, had to get a job early, may have even took care of a parent, or have been like a surrogate parent in the household where they had to take care of, like, be that voice of reason to one of their parents, like a mom or a dad that had put them in adult people's business. And the fearful avoidant are the ones that had a lot of different traumas. Like, they had a bunch of complex traumas where they just don't trust people, By the way, I'm 53 and my girlfriend was 49. She ended it by text after 4 years. Yeah, you know what? Your age plays a difference too, because once a person is set in their ways and they're not willing to do any counseling or therapy, or they're not even caring about personal development, there's a big chance that they won't even be interested in learning about attachment styles, about learning about healing their style. And they're just pretty much going to say, I am who I am. This is how I've always been. And this is how I'll always be. And then you really have to wonder, like, is this fair to me? Because I'm doing everything. I'm seeking out Coach Court. I'm seeking out attachment styles. I'm really trying to learn and heal myself for this person when they're not putting any effort in whatsoever. And like I said, that's not fair to you. So I'm a DA and I have an FAX then. Would you please give your insights on that dynamic? Sounds like this thing was pretty much destined to not go the distance, especially if both people didn't take the steps they needed to take to heal their style and to be able to open up and be more vulnerable with the other person. Sounds like a pretty rocky dynamic, one that'll be probably off and on for a while, maybe having a bunch of different relationships in between. Or there might even been some infidelity in those type of dynamics. But it's definitely not a healthy one if no one's taking the right steps to heal themselves. Like I said before, I have taken attachment style quizzes each time and have a different result. Your attachment style will change. It doesn't stay the same. Different experiences and relationships throughout life. Even your mood, when you become more healed, even your healing journey, you'll take that test and it'll be different. And I hate to say it, but for women, because I gotta say it, for women, you guys answer questions based on how you're feeling in that moment. So you may have been feeling a certain way when you took the test one time, but then you took it another time and you felt a whole different way. And men, we're more logical. We're like, yep, that's it, that's it, that's it. We do get caught up in our feelings sometimes, but we're more logical. We're able to turn that part of the brain on. It's like, all right, let's just be as accurate as I can. That's a big problem on the dating scene nowadays. I've noticed that are many men out there interested in emotional growth. Nope. No. The world is shifting. The dating arena is shifting. There are coaches that are teaching some very different things than we have all learned and all grew up with, which isn't a bad thing because we're supposed to evolve as people. But dating game is about to get a lot more difficult for women. And if we're talking avoidant women, a lot of men probably won't even put up with it. They won't even deal with it for long periods of time. So that's all I got for you guys. Happy hump day. I hope I don't get demonetized for saying what I said. They might limit me, but oh well, it is what it is. Hope you guys found value in this session today. Don't forget, if you want to join my membership program, I'm telling you, it's a great value, $25. You get a 20-minute coaching call with me every single month that you're part of the membership. That's $50 off what I'm charging right now for a half hour. I mean, come on. Check out my book. $5. It's my story. How I started this coaching business, the heartbreak that I went through, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. I have a podcast too. If you guys haven't heard my podcast, that link is in the description below. Mindful of Podcast, where I put a lot of my top viewed videos into audio format on every major platform that you can have as far as podcasts. So Apple, Spotify, Google Play, all those apps. So check that out. It's in the link below. And I appreciate you guys. Namaste. God bless you.